Hey, Jamie. Long time no see. How have you been?
Hey, Alex. I've been good, thanks. Just busy with work and trying to figure out life. You know? How about you?
Same here. Work's been hectic, but I'm managing. Speaking of which, I've been thinking a lot about jobs lately. Like, if I could have any job in the world, what would it be? Have you ever thought about what your dream job might be?
Oh, definitely. I've spent so much time daydreaming about that. My dream job would be something that combines my love for travel, writing, and photography. Maybe like a travel journalist or a photojournalist. I want to explore different cultures, meet new people, and share their stories with the world. How about you?
That sounds amazing. For me, I think my dream job would be running a small, cozy bookstore. I've always loved reading, and there's something so peaceful about being surrounded by books all day. Plus, I could host book clubs, author readings, and create a real community space. It feels like it would be such a fulfilling job.
That sounds like a dream. Imagine spending your days surrounded by books and fellow book lovers. What got you into reading in the first place?
My parents were big readers, so there were always books around the house. They used to read to me every night before bed, and as I got older, I just never lost that love for stories. How did you get into travel and photography?
My family traveled a lot when I was a kid. We moved around quite a bit because of my dad's job, and I think that sparked my love for exploring new places. As for photography, it started as a hobby. I got my first camera when I was about 10 and just fell in love with capturing moments and telling stories through images. Over time, I realized I wanted to combine these passions into a career.
That's awesome. It's great when you can turn your hobbies and passions into a job. Do you ever feel like your current job is holding you back from pursuing your dream?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I enjoy what I do, but it's not my passion. I work in marketing, which is interesting and all, but it doesn't give me that same sense of excitement or fulfillment. What about you? Do you feel the same way about your job?
Yeah, I do. I'm in finance, and while it's stable and pays well, it's not something I'm passionate about. It feels more like a means to an end rather than something I genuinely love doing. I've been thinking a lot about what steps I could take to move towards my dream job.
Have you come up with any ideas or plans?
I'm considering starting small, maybe opening an online bookstore first and building a community there. I could also start a blog or a YouTube channel about books and see where that leads. What about you? Have you thought about how you might transition into travel journalism or photojournalism?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. I think the first step would be to build a portfolio of my work. Maybe start a travel blog, share my photos on social media, and try to get some freelance gigs. Networking with people in the industry could also help. It's a big leap, but I think it would be worth it.
Definitely. It's all about taking those first steps and seeing where they lead. Have you ever done any freelance work before?
A little bit, here and there. Mostly small projects for friends or local businesses. Nothing major, but it's a start. What about you? Have you done anything related to your dream job?
Not yet, but I've been doing a lot of research and planning. I joined a few online book communities and started writing reviews. It's a small step, but I'm hoping it will help me build connections and learn more about the industry. I'm also looking into business courses to get a better understanding of what it takes to run a bookstore.
That sounds like a solid plan. It's great that you're already taking steps towards your goal. Sometimes the hardest part is just getting started.
Absolutely. It can be daunting, But I think it's important to remember that it's okay to start small and build from there. Have you ever felt discouraged about pursuing your dream job?
Many times, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the thought of leaving a stable job and diving into something uncertain. Plus, there's always that nagging doubt about whether I'm good enough or if it's too late to make a change. But then I remind myself that nothing worth having comes easy. How about you? Have you faced any doubts or obstacles?
Oh, for sure. The fear of failure is a big one. And then there's the financial aspect. Giving up a stable income to pursue something that might not work out is a huge risk. But I try to focus on the bigger picture and remind myself why I want to do this in the first place. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in what I do every day.
That's such a great perspective. It's important to keep sight of the reasons behind our dreams. I think passion and fulfillment are worth the risk. Do you have a timeline for when you want to start working towards your dream job more seriously?
I've set a goal for myself to start making more concrete moves within the next year. By then, I hope to have saved up a bit more money and have a clearer plan in place. What about you? Do you have a timeline in mind?
I think within the next 2 years. I want to use this time to really build up my portfolio and make connections in the industry. Plus, I need to save up some money and maybe take a few courses to improve my skills. It's a lot to think about, but I'm excited about the possibilities.
That sounds like a solid plan. It's great that you're giving yourself time to prepare and build a strong foundation. What kind of places do you dream about traveling to as a photojournalist?
Oh, there are so many places on my list. I'd love to explore Southeast Asia, especially countries like Vietnam and Cambodia. The culture, the history, the landscapes, everything about that region fascinates me. I'd also love to spend some time in Africa, documenting wildlife and the diverse cultures there. What about you? What kind of books would you want to feature in your bookstore?
I want to have a diverse selection that caters to all kinds of readers, from classic literature and contemporary fiction to nonfiction, graphic novels, and indie publications. I'd love to highlight local authors and have sections dedicated to different genres and interests. It would be a place where anyone could find something they love.
That sounds wonderful. I can already picture it. Cozy reading nooks, a small cafe in the corner, and shelves lined with all kinds of books. It would be such a welcoming and inspiring place.
That's exactly the kind of atmosphere I want to create. A place where people can come to relax, discover new books, and connect with others. Do you have any specific stories or moments you hope to capture as a photojournalist?
Definitely. I want to capture moments that tell powerful stories and evoke emotions. It could be a candid shot of a street market bustling with life, a portrait of a local artist in their studio, or the serene beauty of a remote landscape. I want my photos to inspire people to see the world from different perspectives and appreciate the beauty and diversity around us.
That's a beautiful goal. Photography has such a powerful way of connecting people and telling stories. It's amazing how a single image can convey so much.
Exactly. And that's what I love about it. It's a universal language that transcends barriers. What about you? Are there any specific events or activities you want to host in your bookstore?
I'd love to host author readings and signings, book clubs, and maybe even writing workshops. It would be great to have events that bring the community together and celebrate the love of books. I also want to have a section dedicated to children's books and host storytime sessions for kids. I think it's important to foster a love of reading from a young age.
That sounds fantastic. It would be such a vibrant and engaging place. I can see it becoming a beloved community hub. Have you thought about the challenges you might face in running a bookstore?
Definitely. The biggest challenge would probably be the competition from big online retailers. But I think focusing on creating a unique, personalized experience could set me apart. Building a strong community and offering events and services that online stores can't provide would be key. What about you? What challenges do you think you might face as a photojournalist?
There are quite a few. Breaking into the industry can be tough, and there's a lot of competition. Plus, it can be challenging to find steady work, especially as a freelancer. There's also the physical and emotional toll of traveling and working in sometimes difficult or dangerous conditions. But despite all that, I think the rewards outweigh the challenges.
I agree. Pursuing your passion is always worth the effort. It might be tough, but the fulfillment and joy that come from doing what you love make it all worthwhile. Do you have any role models or inspirations in the field of photojournalism?
Yes, there are several. I really admire the work of Steve McCurry and his ability to capture